Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel JB's Lecture. I am Jui Bhattacharya and today in this video I shall continue with the rest of the 5 questions. Okay, among the most probable and the most important questions from a gorilla in the guest room. Okay, so without wasting time, today I shall just start the video. So, I shall discuss from question number 7. What traces of his presence did Npongo leave in the guest room? Okay. So, as per the story, Npongo is the main character. Npongo is a baby gorilla and Npongo is very much well-mannered, well-behaved. He has a kind of sense of humor, great sense of humor. His courteousness, his demeanor actually attract everybody. So now the particular story is written in past tense, so we shall definitely discuss everything in past tense. As the question is given in past tense, that is why also we shall answer or we shall write the answers in past tense only. Always remember how to follow the actual tense. You have to depend on the question's tense. The way the question is set, in the same way you are bound to write the answer. If the question is given in present tense, your answer should always be in present tense. Otherwise, if the question is given in present tense and you are writing the answer in past tense and vice versa, then definitely marks will be deducted. Okay, so let us start. Now you see, everybody was actually attracted to Npongo. Npongo was a civilized ape, you can say, and one of the most handsome animals present over there at that particular zoo area, and that was why everybody was actually his fan. Right at the very beginning, when Npongo didn't have his appropriate cage in the zoo, for 2 days he had to live in the guest room of the author, and at that particular time, right at the very beginning, the mother and the wife of the author were very much frightened. But the more they started to meet with gorilla, the more they started to mingle with Npongo, the more they could understand that this ape was to some extent completely different rather than the other animals, or you can say rather than the other apes or the other baby animals. But you have to remember that Npongo was a baby, and if we consider the baby human beings, we could remember that yes, definitely a baby human being cannot be perfect. Then how can a baby animal be perfect? Actually, no one is perfect. Even then also, everything should not at all be expected from Npongo, as Npongo was a baby entity. Whatever. So, which traces Npongo left at the guest room of the author? The first one is the very wall of that guest room became red. How? Because actually it seemed like it was like the very map of Japan was drawn on that wall. But how did it happen? Npongo threw the raspberry juice on the wall, and that was how the wall was designed in red color. And the next point is that the very handle of the door of the guest room was to some extent bent in an odd way. That proved that Npongo tried to get out of the room. Npongo's attempt to get out of the room, that particular oddly bent handle of that particular room actually proved. So these are some traces which proved that Npongo was a baby, as well as Npongo's presence in the guest room. I guess this answer is quite a bit clear to all of you. And one more important point is that this question is very important. Mark it, this question is very important, and there is almost 80% chance for this question to be present in your question paper. Okay, now let us move to question number 8. That is, why did the door handle was bent at an odd angle? That I have already discussed, that Npongo was a baby gorilla and he attempted to get out of the house in any way, and that was how the door handle was bent at an odd angle. Okay, Now come to question number 9. How did Npongo behave when visitors tried to take pictures of him? You know, there are a lot of animals who are not that much camera friendly. Like I am having my dog at my house. She is a golden retriever and she is not at all camera friendly. She, all the time she smiles. She shows all her extracurricular activities and everything. But whenever you start taking pictures of her, or you start taking videos of her, she can understand it in every way and she moves back. She starts to retreat and she understands, and this is the thing, like she uses her sixth sense. I guess each and every animal can understand that. You can notice it even in case of the monkeys as well. They do not at all like photography, videography, anything. But some apes you can see in Bangkok or Malaysia, that type, in that particular part, some apes, they are very much camera friendly. They are over there trained to give some poses in front of the cameras. Okay, so now you see here in case of Npongo, when Npongo understood that yes, people were actually clicking his pictures, he started to loll on the grass with a kind of boring face, like he was very much bored or something like that. And sometimes he had a kind of wicked expression in his eyes as well. And sometimes what did he do? That particular unfortunate person who clicked his pictures or videos or anything, Npongo came and just tumble him down. Understood? Pulled his leg and he tumbled down, and that was how that particular person got a sustaining sleep disc. Okay, or sometimes there people who are standing at distance clicking the pictures of the entire scenario, they clicked a picture of a completely empty lawn. Why? Because the person who was near about Npongo, that person fell down. So these were some activities that Npongo showed to everybody, and people were amazed at him. Okay, next point is how would you explain the deep bond the author and Npongo share? Definitely there is a very, very deep bond in between Npongo and the author, because right at the very beginning, when the author went to see Npongo, whether Npongo was a baby gorilla or a baby chimpanzee, right at that very first day, Npongo lifted his arms so that the author would lift him in his lap. And from that very first day till the last day, the very day which is described in that particular story, we could understand that there was a very deep bond in between Npongo and the author. Npongo was such an animal who was loved by everybody, and then definitely by the author, because he was over there. He was as a guest. He was there at the guest room of the author, and right from that day also, the family members of author fell in love with Npongo. And there was a particular moment, you can say a particular part in the story, when Npongo became ill and the author had to go somewhere, some other places actually, for some campaigning or something else. And at that particular time, Npongo became very ill, but the author was so much disappointed, so much worried. He used to bring exotic fruits, watermelons, everything, and Npongo also tried to recover. The author wanted Npongo's soon recovery, a fast recovery. Npongo also tried his best, and that was how Npongo became all okay. Npongo became all like free from the disease just before one day of the author's departure. That was how the very relationship, or that was the very relationship that Npongo and the author shared among each other, or in between each other. Okay, and now come to the last question, that is, what examples can you find in the text to show that Npongo, though a baby, was huge and strong? Npongo was 18 inches tall, and he had a kind of solid muscle, being a baby gorilla of only 2-year-old. He was only 2 years old, and he was this much tall, and he was had a kind of he had solid muscle as well. And Npongo was heavier also. When the author lifted him up in his lap, he felt that Npongo was heavier comparing his age. So that was how you can say that Npongo was actually huge and strong. Npongo was well behaved, civilized, demeanor was wonderful, courteousness was wonderful, amazing, and amazing animal. Okay, so if you are having any query, if you are having any questions, if you are having any other doubts to be discussed in the videos, you can definitely comment below. And if you think that you are all these discussions are helpful to you, you can share my video among your friends and family members, cousins, and everybody. Don't forget to comment below, as I have just said. And if you like my contents, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to encourage me as well. Okay, so for today, bye. We'll meet through another video.